I'm Allison Rogers, editor of Collision Repair Magazine. Last week, the Collision Repair Magazine editorial team was at CCIF, the virtual experience, checking in with some of the exhibitors to hear how the show's going for them this year. Check out our interviews from the show to learn more about what these industry experts think is in store for the Canadian collision industry this year.
What was the goal of the event this year? Was it just to showcase the 360 powers of Spanesi, or what were you guys aiming to do?
So the goal of our entire marketing efforts have been really just to stay in front of the customer and to provide as much support for our customers as they go through this, and to understand where they're at and to fill those needs for equipment, and to showcase off what we're delivering, and we continue to deliver to the collision repair industry on a daily basis. We haven't stopped working. I think we closed down. We never closed down. We never closed down in our company. We went remote for a little bit, but we were always working, and we came back within a couple weeks, and have been active ever since.
Yeah, I know Tim's been out helping shops, revamp their operations and stuff. So I mean, I've seen you guys out in the field as you've been working hard, and I remember back in May, even Tim telling me that Spanesi out in Italy has been thriving as well. They've been trying to keep everything as seamless as possible as we make our way through this. But as for general turnout, we found that CCIF this year, the chat was very lively. Did you find that there was more sort of traffic to your booth, or was there anything that surprised you?
It actually, yeah, the chat did surprise me compared to last year for the CCIF, which was virtual as well. Actually, let me start that over again. CCIF last year was not virtual.
In the CCIF in October, they had a virtual.
In October,
yeah.
okay. So, all right. So let me answer again for you, Ms. Allison. The CCIF was a lot more lively compared to the chat we had in October of last year. Okay, and I think that there was a lot of people that were kind of walking through the steps of kind of figuring out how things are going, and in October. But this year it was more like, okay, we've gotten over the hurdle of how we're going to actually be virtual, and now let's start engaging with those vendors, with those customers, with those colleagues that we've been missing, that we haven't been able to see in the last year or so. So it was actually really refreshing, to be able to reach out to my friend Tom Julius at carpart.com and of some of our customers, and really have that engagement, and have that conversation of, wow, this is going on. How can we help you here? What are you experiencing? What are we experiencing? How can we tackle it as an organization? Mm-hmm. So, and as an industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were impressed with the chat too. I think at one point on the first day there was 200 people in there. It was crazy to see compared to last October. There was 30, I think, at one point. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. So as for 2021, I mean, we're in the new year. We've been seeing lots of disruption across the board. Electric vehicles are a hot topic, ADAS, all of that. What's Spanesi doing to kind of narrow in on these problems and help the industry?
Spanesi is, no matter where the industry goes from a repair standpoint, Spanesi provides those tools and equipment that are designed, that are manufactured by technicians for technicians. So with the ADAS, we really are focused on making sure that the cars put back together properly using the touch measuring system, in order to make sure that down to the millimeter, that the car's exactly accurate, so that those sensors are in the right place. Because that's a big challenge for those shops, is making sure that once it's put back together and you go through the diagnostic process, is actually they can recalibrate and put that vehicle back on the road for their customers properly. So that combined with our universal jig system, and repairing a lot more of these cars that are not a simple, like we used to do it, heat it till it drips, pull it till it rips type of mentality. I mean, you really have to, even on the new Hondas now, you have to be able to set the jig system properly and put those parts back exactly how the manufacturer wants them. So we have a complete set of tools to do that. It's a matter of helping the customers understand where those tools fit in, how they fit in, what the value proposition is for those tools, and why it makes sense for them to put, to move to the next level in some cases, getting rid of benches that are 30, 40 years old, and moving to a newer style of repair methodology.
Mm-hmm. We know that Spanesi equipment has a lot of OE approvals under its belt. So how does that play into the future of repairs and following OE procedures and whatnot?
Yeah, that's a great question, Allison. So what we do with our customers is understanding what their specific set of customer vehicles are, okay, and what their approvals are, and making sure that number one, they have the proper tools to fix it. And what we're seeing, and I think the industry is kind of telegraphing this, is the OEMs are going to become much more involved in the repair process in terms of wanting to direct customer vehicles to OEM certified facilities. Okay. And they're going to do that at the accident when it happens. Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, we see you've had an accident. Would you like us to call emergency services for you? And by the way, we recommend that you have your vehicle towed if everybody's okay to this location because they're an OEM certified shop. So you're going to see a lot of that first notice of loss happening in the vehicle at the time of the accident, which is going to push people to those shops that have the proper certifications. And that's not going away. And I'll tell you why it's not going to go away. Because these cars are so complicated now. Just because you can work on a Ford doesn't mean you can work on an Audi. Just because you can work on an Audi doesn't mean that you can work on a Chevy or a Nissan. So you're going to have shops, I think, they're going to be specializing in specific manufacturers, which is going to be a win for the consumer in the long term. But it's going to be a challenge for the shop in the short term because nobody wants to turn away work. So it's a matter of focusing on where your talents lie in that entire process and having that proper equipment and training to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at your sheets too and finding out what automaker is your most popular automaker and, making an informed decision that way. It's going to be, I'm glad you brought that up because that's something we've been really diving into and seeing. Amazing. So as for, you mentioned that you were in a training session today. So how's training going with Spanesi? What are you guys up to right now, given the pandemic and the whole situation we're kind of in? How are things going?
Going well. I really wish that we had more people involved in our training sessions in person because we are a hands-on type of industry. You see my hands moving all over the place, but we really are a hands-on industry. We like to get out there. We like to touch the equipment, smell the paint, and see things move visually and so on. So it's made it a challenge for a lot of our shop owners to stay current with the newer technologies. So as soon as we can get technicians back into our training facilities on a mass basis, and we still have relatively small training classes, 10, 12 people at the most, so that everybody gets a chance. But as soon as we can start doing that again, we can't wait. It really is the way we learn as an industry. Nobody likes to sit in a classroom and sit on a laptop. They want to be out there touching the cars, and that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about in our latest issue is internet fatigue and just what's with all these webinars. How are you supposed to stay engaged and stay informed while you're just behind a screen all day, every day? Your initiative to do things kind of goes away. So yeah, I mean, we can't wait to get back into those in-class sessions. I think those are all the questions I wanted to cover. I really like the OEM stuff that we discussed. I think I'm going to use most of that for the clip. But basically what we're trying to do with these videos, last year, obviously at CCIF, we were in person. We had all our camera equipment and our interview stuff. And we were running around to every booth and talking to everybody. But this year we tried to do it a little bit differently, talk to everybody through Zoom kind of thing. So next weekend, we're trying to produce a video series just with everyone that had a booth exhibiting in CCIF. And we'll make sure to send any video drafts over to you guys before we publish them, make sure everything sounds good, but they're probably just going to be about 5 to 10 minute clips.
Okay, well, perfect. Anything you need, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you out and hopefully I gave you some great sound bites
you did.
that you can use and edit down. And I love working with the Collision Repair Magazine team in Canada. I really would love to see the Canadian market rebound, and I know it can. And whatever we can do to help that market, we're going to be in there. We have people all over Canada that can help. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see you guys soon, hopefully when the borders open again. And thanks so much for talking today, Karl. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Allison. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
This was a Media Matters production. If you liked what you saw, check out our other videos, follow our socials, and subscribe for more.